Now, a KXAN investigation. Justice unraveled.
Tens of thousands of criminal cases all over the state of Texas are under review tonight. It's over the frightening possibility innocent people are in jail and the real criminals are still on the street. The problem rests with DNA results that may have been miscalculated in crimes like rape, assault, and murder for the past 15 years. Right now, district attorneys in nearly every Texas county are combing through mountains of case files to figure out if they were given the wrong DNA results to convict suspects. This is a massive statewide undertaking called the DNA Mixture Review Project.
It's taking another look at cases with evidence that contain more than one person's DNA and the flawed science used in court. Here's KXAN Sally Hernandez.
There are now updated, more accurate ways to determine the odds you have the right suspect in cases with DNA evidence. Let me explain with an actual case the state has already re-examined. Under the old method, the odds that the DNA at the crime scene belongs to someone other than the suspect were 1 in 1.4 billion. With one new method they tried, a dramatic difference. Those odds changed to 1 in 38. And that creates more doubt that this suspect matches that DNA. Now, here in Travis County, we are talking about some brutal cases, crimes getting a second look, including 6 men now on death row like Luis Castro Pettis, convicted of a triple homicide that rocked the city of Austin 2 decades ago. September 10th, 1998. What police found inside this quiet South Austin home late at night sent a loud scream.
Oh my God!
For justice. The search for who killed roommates Michelle Fulweiler, Cinda Bars, and her 9-year-old daughter, Stacy. Cinda was beaten to death with a cast iron skillet. Her daughter, Stacy, was found tied up to a bed with a pair of pantyhose and strangled. Michelle was strangled too.
Luis, did you kill those women? Why? Why them?
Luis Castro Pettis knew the victims. They were friends. And now he was charged with killing them.
But the defense doesn't have to do anything.
If his story's true, there's going to be blood on this shirt.
Rules are rules, or why the hell have them?
The passionate trial lasted over a week.
Have you arrived at a verdict in this case, sir?
We, the jury, find the defendant, Luis Castro Perez, guilty of the offense of capital murder.
And he was convicted very heavily based on DNA evidence.
With more than 3 decades on the bench presiding over countless trials, Judge John Wisser remembers this one well.
The DNA evidence was very central in this case. I won't say that a jury could not convict without it, but I think the chances would be considerably greater that they would not convict.
And 18 years later, that DNA evidence is still central to this case. Now, prosecutors all over Texas are asking if innocent people were convicted based on miscalculated DNA.
But the DNA, up until this point, has sort of been that's it. If the DNA shows he did it, he did it. And most jurors have been able to accept that.
And he just kind of stays with us at all times. And
Pettis' sister has never accepted her brother's guilty verdict.
And I'll never forget the day that my brother was sentenced to death. And I had to literally carry my father out of the courtroom. And there was, media everywhere. And those were my last words, is that I know that someday the truth is going to come out. And I think that maybe we're closer to the truth now than ever before.
At the time of the trial, the families of Michelle, Cinda, and Stacy say the jury got it right.
This man shouldn't be allowed to live in the world that we live in. I think that I would always be afraid of somebody that evil in this world.
Pettis says his only crime is not calling for help after he walked into the bloody scene.
That cast iron skillet was sitting by her face, and I hollered out, Cinda, and she was gasping for air and she was choking, and she had her hand out. I dropped down and she was hanging on to me. I had cocaine on me, I had a warrant out for my arrest. I was thinking to myself. I picked up my shirt and I walked out that door. I left my shoes there, I left my socks there, and at the time I didn't give a damn. I walked out of that house. Yes, I did leave that house, but I did not kill those people.
Now that same DNA that helped put Pettis on death row
But the DNA is sometimes like the coffin nail.
could set him free. No doubt this is a complex issue, and it's going to take time to sort out as the process plays out across the state. Here in Travis County, the district attorney's office is going over every criminal case that calculated DNA results the old way. And so far, it has flagged nearly 1,400 cases, and that number is expected to grow. It has sent out notices to more than 1,000 inmates saying their convictions may have been impacted. More than 200 of those inmates, including Luis Pettis, have replied saying they want their DNA results recalculated using the updated science. Sally Hernandez, KXAN News.
Online now, Justice Unraveled. Go inside this mystery with Sally and KXAN investigator David Barrere. Our team has profiled 40 of the most brutal crimes and convictions here at home that could be in question now. Plus, we'll take a closer look at the problems at the now shuttered crime lab at the Austin Police Department and why some experts say it should never open again. Online now in the investigative section of KXAN.com.